Just this once. It sounds so reasonable, doesn't it? It has the ring of flexibility, of balance, of common sense. But when we're talking about discipline, those four simple words are heavier than they seem. They're a trap disguised as a compromise, because just this once is rarely, truly just once. Think about it. Most people don't wake up one morning and decide to abandon their goals. Discipline doesn't collapse in a dramatic explosion. It erodes. It starts with small, quiet, isolated exceptions. One skipped routine, one decision delayed until tomorrow, one single moment where you tell yourself the rules don't apply. And what happens? Nothing. The sky doesn't fall, no alarms go off, and that very lack of immediate consequence is the most dangerous part. It's the silence that gives you permission to do it again. The real problem isn't the single exception itself. It's not the one cookie or the one missed workout. It's what that exception does to the rule in your mind. Rules are powerful because they're clear. They're a solid line. They eliminate the exhausting process of negotiation with yourself. But the moment you make an exception, that solid line turns to smoke. The rule becomes conditional, and now every future situation that's even slightly similar requires a new decision. And it is in those moments of decision, of negotiation, that discipline is at its weakest. There's a reason for this. Psychological research is clear. Self-control leans heavily on stable, predictable boundaries. When you start blurring those boundaries, the mental effort required to maintain control skyrockets. Each exception you grant yourself lowers the psychological price of the next one. It's not because you've suddenly lost your values or your willpower. It's because your brain has quietly revised the internal rulebook. The original rule is gone, replaced by a new, weaker one. Follow the plan, unless. This is the slippery slope in action. Discipline rarely shatters. It's worn away by a constant drip of justification. Just this once quickly becomes just for this week, which then evolves into just under these specific circumstances. At that point, you're not even testing your discipline anymore. You're in a constant state of negotiation with the weaker part of yourself, a negotiation you are almost guaranteed to lose. So, what's the alternative? Perfect, robotic rigidity? No, the opposite of this weakness isn't rigidity, it's clarity. Effective discipline treats exceptions with extreme care. They are either clearly predefined from the start, or they are completely excluded. A rule that includes planned exceptions, like a cheat meal scheduled for every Saturday, is far more stable than a rule that allows you to improvise an exception on a Wednesday because you feel stressed. One is a system, the other is a suggestion. The phrase, just this once, feels harmless because its cost isn't immediate. It's a debt you pay later, with interest. But discipline isn't lost in a single moment. It's lost in a pattern, and almost every single one of those destructive patterns begins with one tiny exception that felt perfectly reasonable at the time.